There's common sense, and then there's uncommon sense. Let's join Ray and Joe for the Uncommon Sense Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Uncommon Sense Podcast, where we talk about uncommon sense subjects.
Nothing, really.
The best way to frame it is if you remember the old Seinfeld show. This is kind of like the podcast version of that.
Is it really?
Except we're not as famous or probably as
And
funny.
we don't have Kramer.
Right. Well, like I said, we're not as funny.
We could be as funny. We
could be.
can.
We can
Yes.
be. No, we have our moments, I think.
Once in a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least my mom tells us that.
The
tells me
six-
that, yeah, you're funny.
The six people really enjoy it.
Right.
Like they have.
Exactly. Yeah, it was odd. We used to have as many shows as we had listeners, but now we're up to like in the 20s.
Now
so,
we triple
yeah.
our listeners. 21 shows and I think 66 downloads. So thank you.
Thank you for
six.
those people.
Yes, we're going to take you all out to McDonald's, all of our fans.
Well, I don't know. It's weird. We're still trying to figure out this whole podcast world.
Yeah.
I mean, some of our videos have thousands and thousands of views,
It's 'cause I
but
pay.
yet
I
nobody
boost
must like us enough to like
Share us.
to like click on and join our YouTube channel.
But what is it about? Because
or become a Facebook fan. It's like something you do in the dark. You don't want anybody to know that you're
Right, it's almost like self-pleasuring yourself. You do it with the door closed, away from everything like that. Listen to your podcast on the toilet.
Yeah. We should. It'd be funny if there would be a way we do a survey. Where do you watch the Uncommon Sense Podcast? 99% of it is alone because you don't want anybody to know that you're listening to it. So it's on the toilet, in the car by yourself, after your significant other goes to bed at night or something. Yeah.
Right there with infomercials. Yep, it's either podcast or infomercials. What do I want to watch here? But wait, it slices, it dices, makes julienne fries.
Yeah, because if somebody, if you're smarter, maybe more intelligent, better half sees what the hell are you watching
Right.
or listening
Jeez.
to, they'll think
it's
less
like-
of you.
Yeah, it would.
But we're okay with that.
We are.
That's what we're about.
Right. And we're about weird stuff. I was driving down here. I was listening to the radio, and another thing struck me. Like, this is built on sayings. Like, how did they become sayings and stuff?
Right.
But what's the goose for the gander?
Right. But, yeah.
Like, what's gander?
What's the gander?
Is
Which is part of
Isn't it like they're
like their fur? I think. I think that's a way to refer to the fur.
not like Gander Mountain?
No,
Where you
I
go
don't
for
think.
sporting.
But is Gander Mountain? Does that have something to do with hunting
Goose?
and goose and
I don't
fur?
know.
Probably, maybe. They thought it was a cool name. But yeah, that's how this podcast got started. We had one simple idea: talk about kind of dumb things that you don't know the answer for, things that you don't even really want to take the time.
You don't want to know the answers.
Like maybe if you had absolutely nothing going on,
Yes.
you would research and find out these answers. But neither you or I have time.
No,
so
but you
we
can sit
talk
and watch
about
the
it.
grass grow. Like,
Well, true.
and it'd be more productive than.
And we would rather just talk about and shoot out these things and
Just
not
spit 'em
know
out.
where they came from.
No, just spit them out. Like, I was wondering if the guy that created the toothbrush, did he only have one tooth? Because it would be a teeth brush. Like,
be a teeth
why would
brush
it be?
then, yeah.
Because you don't brush one tooth.
Right. Right. Yeah. How did that start?
Yeah.
Did he
right.
have only one tooth? And it could be because, back in like colonial times or whenever.
They were wooden teeth.
Right. They didn't have very good oral hygiene.
Now, isn't that funny? You'd have wooden teeth because didn't George Washington have wooden teeth?
Well, that's what they say. Yeah. I'm not sure that's true. But
And then if you see a bird and you have wood teeth and you say, hey, look at the woodpecker. Now, do you really think, were you calling a bird or do you have something below that
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be splintery, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And pecker, why would, why?
Well, do you know why? Birds are considered ugly?
No.
You would too if your pecker was between your eyes. Boom. One bad joke every
We got to
episode.
fit at least one in.
Yeah.
But, I think going back to show 1 or 2, and then we kind of got off on all kind of different subjects.
Yes.
And we might hit with one phrase, and then the rest of our 20 minutes or whatever, we got off on a tangent.
You're right.
But, in between recordings here, I did look up some other sayings
You
that...
did research?
Well, I mean, can you call 30 seconds typing in a question on the internet?
No, I call that love making. Sorry. Hey, before you get into your stuff, I do want to tell you, it happened again. Spring forward. I'm looking at the clock. Me and my wife are going heavy and got it. And the next thing you know, I lasted an hour and 4 minutes. It was unreal.
Unfortunately, that only happens in the spring.
It does.
In the fall, you're
fall,
negative 4 minutes.
Yeah. Where'd all the time go? Gosh, that'd be the longest back massage in the. God.
Yeah. Come fall, it's like you're going back in time.
Yeah, I don't even touch that in the fall. I don't even want to be there.
It's too depressing.
It is. So anyway, I know I got you off subject again. I'm sorry.
No, but here's a few. Like, when somebody uses the phrase "spill the beans."
Yeah.
How would that start?
Did it burn?
Spill the beans.
Spilling the beans. I have to tell you a story.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is. And my mom doesn't listen to this, but
it's just my mom. I was be funny.
So when I was younger, my mom, we go to my grandmother's. It was either Christmas Eve or Easter. I don't remember what the heck it was. And she had a crock pot full of beans and franks, and it was hot. And we had this Impala wagon, and I was sitting in the back seat, and she wanted to put it in between she wanted me to hold it, you know?
Sure.
So as she put it in, they dumped on my crotch. It burned me inside. I had to jump out of the car, lay in the snow. So it must not have been Easter, but I had to lay. And my mom was so sorry, but.
Gives a whole new meaning to beans and wieners.
I didn't think of that.
What did Ray bring for the holidays? Beans and wieners, everybody.
But no, it hurt. I mean, for me to remember that
it had to.
50 years later, it hurt.
Well,
thanks, Mom.
But that's the funny thing. How many of us
started my growth? Yeah. That explains it.
That explains your 4 minutes.
Explains the whole thing. Man.
It's stunted growth as a youngster.
That's why I don't eat those, what are they, pigs in a blanket. Gosh.
It's too close to home.
Right?
But how many times, and this has had to happen to everybody at least once in their life. They're going to a party, they've got a crock pot, whatever, and the damn thing dumps on the back seat, the trunk,
well,
whatever.
that's why she wanted me to hold it.
Mess.
So you could ruin your kids' future by just letting them hold the beans and not spill them. But maybe that's where that came from. How long
could be, but I mean, when you use phrase "spill the beans," it's you're going to blabber something that you shouldn't.
Oh,
what does that have to do with beans? You wonder. I don't know. You spill them. What is it?
Right. Well, it's like a bean counter. Would you count them after you spilled them? Or a bean counter is like an accountant guy that counts money.
You're right.
Boy, and then Beantown. Why do they call?
Well, money beans like in that.
Money beans, but why do they call it Beantown? Like, what is it? The White Sox is called, or what? Isn't something called Beantown?
Beantown, yeah, like Boston.
Boston is Beantown, yeah, right. Yeah. And then you ever have those Boston beans, the candy? They're the worst candy.
Oh, yeah.
They come in that like little thing with the fake bricks on it, red, bright. They're horrible.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you're gonna make candy, make good candy.
Yeah. Right. Don't bean candy. Oh, we got bean candy. Get out, really? Let me have some.
Like if you gave that away at Halloween, people would egg your house. What the hell's wrong with them? That's crap.
Bean candy. Oh gosh, man. All right, so that's
one. That's a good one.
Yeah, spill the beans.
We don't know. Now, how about this one? I mean, I've never used this, but I think I've heard it. Cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Like, where would that come from?
Monkey. Well,
first of all, what is a brass monkey? I mean,
that's
and why
a song.
would you?
Brass monkey, my funky monkey, brass monkey. Maybe it was from the Beastie Boys.
That's your club days.
Dude,
I love the
Beastie Boys. They were awesome.
Yeah.
No sleep. Anyway, but no brass balls. Well, brass would be cold.
Right. So you get that. So brass would be cold. So it's cold enough.
Right.
And I guess just
the monkey.
What animal? You had to pick up animals, so you picked a monkey.
Monkey probably has the most human-like nuts. I mean, if you had to think about it.
I didn't think of that. I've never thought about that. But
no, you never
until
did?
now.
Yeah.
And people driving to work or listening to this podcast, thank God you are listening on the toilet and nobody's around. It's like, what the hell are they listening to? They're talking about monkeys' balls.
Did you ever answer the phone when you were on the toilet?
Yeah. I try not to.
I try not to too, but You know, your phone is a new newspaper. You know, you used to sit. My dad used to sit there for 20 minutes with the newspaper, get black knees because the print would come off and stuff. And
right.
Yeah, right. But
you get today, you get your news and your info from your phone.
Everything
so
on your phone.
It's
so
not
if
that
it
weird.
rings,
It's not that weird.
No, but if it rings and you're talking to someone and
well, that's
and if it's someone you know, did you ever do this? Like you're on the phone and be like, What are you doing? I'm tied up. What do you need? Well, I was going to ask you about. Okay, yeah, I really think that. Then they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm on the ball." They're like, "Oh," they hang up.
Well, there's just certain things you don't want to think about,
right? Because people think in pictures. So,
it's theater of the mind, and that's a awfully scary theater.
It is, yeah, it is. And
like
Mike can think of
horror
anything. Yeah,
but I don't know that I've ever admitted that. That's what I was doing when I was on the phone with
it's
somebody.
funny. If you
and
if you just strain your voice, they'll know.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, I'll be with you. Can I call you
But
back?
it's funny because I've been on the phone with other people that have admitted they were going to the bathroom.
You do.
Now, not taking a dump necessarily.
But you could hear the pee.
Yeah.
Like it just.
Yeah. Even women. I've been on the phone with women who, that I don't know that well, but friendly enough with.
It's the only room that echoes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you're,
I'm like, what are you doing? I run to the bathroom. Okay.
Don't answer the phone.
I'm glad you're familiar enough with me that you don't mind.
Right.
But, we're friends, and again, these are just friends. These aren't people that,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Now, I talk to you in the shower. Because
but it's funny. I will bring my phone to the bathroom, and I always think if somebody goes, like, especially if it's during work, and I think, well, I'm not going to answer it if somebody calls.
I do.
If it's a client
I have
or
no shame.
Somebody.
No shame. No, because the other day you called me. I was in the shower, so I leave my phone on the bathroom, and I have it standing up on the vanity.
Yeah.
So I could peek out the shower and see who it is, and then when you hang up, I could say, "Hey, SIRI." Call blank on speaker, and then
yeah.
So
it's amazing what we do. Isn't technology grand?
It is, but you know why I have to spell SIRI because I can't say it because then if I listen to the podcast in the car,
SIRI is going to come up.
Yeah, SIRI is going to answer.
Didn't come up. Yeah, we didn't say it all the way.
No, I got that.
But yeah,
beat.
Technology's grand.
It is. It's really cool. And I love the FaceTime stuff. The FaceTime stuff is awesome. The FaceTime stuff probably put a lot of those women that had those sexy voices doing sex calls out of business.
True.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah, because their voices don't match.
No.
It's like you got a good face for radio.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, we're totally off subject again. So spill the beans, but goose and gander.
Cold enough to
freeze the brass balls.
Off.
Well, and they also have
not brass balls, just the balls off the brass monkey.
Oh, brass monkey, that funky. And then they have it's colder than a witch's boob. That's not what they say,
right? Right. Yeah, we're a family show here,
right? We are. But what is that? Like, what does that have to do with it?
Right.
That's crazy. And you know why the witches don't have any babies?
Well, right. And who's ever been close enough to a witch's bosom to
bosom
to tell
right,
about it.
Right. Jeez.
Well, here this is against what we do, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. It says that it's often claimed to be a naval term for a rack holding cannonballs. But it says this is actually a myth, as no such device existed.
A brass monkey? No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, So that's a good one to throw in because it doesn't seem to be true.
Good.
Just as good as if we made it up.
That's like parking on a driveway.
How about Saved by the Bell? Hey,
love that show. Love Zach.
That was a good show.
I love Zach and Tiffany Thiessen. Was it Tiffany Thiessen?
Tiffany Thiessen.
Yeah, she was so cute. Then she went to, she had 3 names.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Saved by the Bell. I love that. But Saved by the Bell, that's easy to explain. That would have to mean something like with the boxer, when he gets knocked out, he's saved by the bell.
You're saved by the bell.
Yeah.
So that one makes sense.
Yeah.
How about paint the town red?
Yeah. Wow. You get in trouble nowadays if you painted the town red.
Yeah. Not like the old days.
No.
You could do all kind of mischief.
Exactly. Like follow the Yellow Brick Road. Paint the town red. So that means you're just going out and having a good time.
I guess. But did anybody ever actually paint the town red? I got to think that at some point that's where it originated from. As mischief, somebody painted the town red.
I would almost have to look that one up. That one's got me curious. Why would you paint the town red?
Well, right, of all colors, yeah. I guess it stands out.
It does.
But well, follow Yellow Brick Road you mentioned, but
Yeah.
but that that's from
That's from Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, so that would make sense.
Yeah, Dorothy.
Right.
That was such a neat. How many times have you watched that? Have you ever thought of that?
Yeah,
I've
a lot
watched
of times.
a lot.
A lot of times.
I'll get you, my pretty
Even
little
if
dog.
it's on some cable channel now, I'll stop and watch it for a little bit.
We're off to see the wizard. The one of them was because
Well,
the lollipop kids.
Who doesn't love Munchkins, right?
Right. And then
Duncan or otherwise.
you beat me to it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. If you're gonna eat a donut hole, shouldn't a donut hole be nothing?
Well, true, right.
Right. And now they have them as munchkins, but they really don't come out of the center of a donut.
No. Although probably at one time they did. I mean, and you figure probably even now, I'm sure Duncan doesn't do it that way, but if you're probably like a legit bakery, you may do it that way.
Dunkin'
Because I
holes?
mean, you got to make the hole some way, I guess.
Yeah, but don't you take dough and roll it and then
around,
spin it? Yeah.
So you don't really punch a hole in it.
So if you're on a diet, you can eat as many donut holes as you want.
Right, because there's a lot of nothing.
Right. There's a whole bunch of nothing, like this show, like this podcast.
Maybe we should change the name to Donut Hole Podcast.
we get a lot
if we
more
would've-
listeners. We would get a heck of a lot more listeners.
If we could go back in time,
Yes.
that maybe would have been a better name.
Well, we are going kind of back in time because we're talking about stuff that's going to happen in a couple weeks back now.
Well, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no secret we record these.
No, because we're
Probably
going to
ahead
be
of
talking about what a great St. Patrick's Day we had and what parades we went to
True.
2 weeks before it even happens.
True.
So,
True. Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah. Although we're a little bit lazy, so the first show we record, we turn around pretty quick here.
We
So
do.
It's
Yeah. Like times went back. Did it mess you up? Or times went forward?
we talked about this last time. It does not really mess me up.
But
no.
it didn't this time?
No.
Like really dark in the morning when you wake up, like the first couple mornings.
Yeah, but let's face it. I wake up at about 5:30. You
I
wake
wake
up
up at
even
4,
earlier. So
yeah.
regardless, up until like June,
Yeah.
it's dark at 5:30 anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, even like right before spring or right in the middle of June, it's still
Well, my
somewhat dark.
my
at
wife's
5:30.
excited because I can get home and pick up poop now. All winter they said, listen, you have to pick up the poop because it's dark when I leave, it's dark when I get home.
Well, it's funny. I've thought about that, and we had those couple of nice days, but other things going on, so
Yeah.
the poop is still out there.
Oh, is it?
I haven't.
And I know she
No.
wants the grandkids to come over, so
Well, thankfully, we have a very
it's-
small dog.
I have
so,
2 horses
yeah.
and a little small dog.
So probably 70% of hers kind of just goes away.
Yeah,
because it's small
disappears.
enough. But you've got dogs that
you don't really.
your dog's poop is bigger than my dog.
Oh my God, yeah. But with Great Danes, you don't ever step in their poop. You trip over it because it's like halfway up to your calf. But my Frenchie's been doing weird stuff. Like she's been eating it lately. And my wife's like,
Not good for the breath.
stop. No, it kills her breath. And then she throws up and it's really gross. And then my wife says, I heard that they make this pill that you could put in the dog's food and it makes the poop unappetizing.
It's not-
Oh, no, come on. Oh, who designed that? Who tested it?
But
Oh, this one's not too bad. This one.
but you think about it, and I answer this honestly.
Yeah.
You let the dogs out. That happened.
Yeah.
The dog came in and licked your wife.
Oh,
and you
oh,
and
God.
you kept it to yourself.
Didn't say a word.
He just ate your poop outside.
Yep. Well,
You
and that's
kind of
why,
zip that up.
and that's why she says you got to pick it up. She's like, "Do you ever pick up poop and see a dog print in it?" I'm like, "Once in a while." They're like, "Okay." Where do you think that goes? I'm like, "Yep, gotcha."
But yeah, whoever invented it, though, that's.
I want to know how they tested it. How do they test it? What do they do? Go to an elementary school, freeze them up, say, "Hey, try this Tootsie Roll," and some kid spits them out, and be like,
But it's probably somebody who had a dog that was a licker.
Yeah.
And, do that and come in and lick their owner. Nobody wants that.
"No, gosh." Oh well.
But yeah, but yeah. So anyway, that's kind of bringing the show back to its roots, what we started from, and a lot of
We're
the
talking
shows
about
we do that.
ridiculous stuff that no one wants to talk about.
Yeah, sayings that we don't know the answer to,
No.
and we're not inclined to really look it up.
No, we don't want to.
we
you
don't
can
wanna
tell
know.
us. We found out how to check our email though, so if you do want to email us something, right? I actually figured you could have a Google, what is that? Google Spot or a Google whatever. But yeah,
Well, almost for I would say probably about 4 days, I had our email up on my taskbar.
Nice.
Now again, I had a reset or I had an update, so
Yeah.
it's not open now. But I remembered Oh, yeah, we have an
I know
email.
what the password is.
Yeah,
so
right.
So if you want to
did think-
email us, you can email us at
We can check it out.
pcuncommonsense@gmail.com.
All right. Well, hey, if you're going to any early St. Patrick's Day parties, be safe, have fun.
Have green beer. You're going to have
Yeah.
green poop.
Yep.
But the
And-
dog probably won't eat that.
Hey, we'll talk to you next time on the Uncommon Sense Podcast.
See ya.
The Uncommon Sense Podcast. It's like an outrageous cup of Joe.